This is how a repository manager looks like, and these are the different repositories. These are present in our server systems. We can access each repository according to the permissions given to the users. We need usernames and password to access these repositories. We are now connecting to the server repository, and we can see what are the different folders in the repository. Here we have a folder called F1. In this folder we will be creating all the mappings. To create mapping, we are going to the another client tool called Informatica Mapping Designer. This is how a Informatica mapping designer looks like. We can access each repository from the designer. We can see all the folders and the subfolders. Here you can see sources, targets, mappings. These are the three different folders that you are familiar with right now. We will access data from different sources. We will transform that data and move it into the target. This is what the process that I am going to do right now. Trying to connect to a source. This is our source database. We are connected to the source. We will take the data, the required data from this database. I am selecting a table. The structure of that table comes into the designer. We can preview the data. This is the data present in that table. Now we selected our source. Now we are going to select our data warehouse, in which we already designed all the tables by using the process called data modeling. So let's go and select our table. To access each database from Informatica or any other source or database, we require the respective database username and password. We selected the table structure. This table does not contain any data. This is the table structure in the data warehouse. We can preview the data. There is no data in this table in our data warehouse. Now we are going to create a mapping. By using this mapping designer, we are going to create a mapping. A mapping is nothing but we clean, cleanse, scrub. That is what known as the transformation process. Here we apply different business logics or business rules. This is what we are going to learn in this Informatica ETL developer training. First we have to pull the source into the designer. We must give a name. of this mapping, there are naming conventions. We have to follow the naming conventions. This is the name that I am giving to this particular mapping. Click OK. We are presented with the source table structure in the designer. Now we are going to pull the source structure in the data warehouse. This is the source structure in the data warehouse for this EMP table. Now I am going to connect or transform or transfer all the data in the source directly into the data warehouse. I am not going to do any transformation here because all the data in the source system is perfectly alright. All this data, I am assuming that the data present in the source system is perfect. So I am just pulling all the data from the source and moving it into the data warehouse. So this mapping is completed now. There is a source and there is a target and there is a mapping called M1 EMB score TW score. This is the name of this mapping. Arrange all iconic, and we will go and validate this mapping. Here